points to correct the.
And Mr. Van Staden, I haven't received any. Oh, I've received an apology from. I've received an apology from Ms. Kwahube. She will join the meeting later. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I'm present and I was not mentioned. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Sheikh Imam, and I'm present, and I was left out. I don't know why.
Okay.
My name is Honorable Munyai. I'm present. I was not noted. Thank you.
We note also the presence of Honorable Munyai and Honorable Imam Sheikh. Thank you very much. May I give this opportunity now to Honorable Van Staten, whose hand was up while I was making opening remarks.
Good morning, Chairperson and honorable members. Honorable Chairperson, I think we have, I want to ask you if we can discuss a matter around, which is in most importance, in public importance this morning, and that is a matter we have discussed on the 4th of June, but we continue with discussion, and that's a matter of the digital vibes matter and the matter of Dr. Zweli Mkhize. If you remember, we have made certain decisions in this committee meeting on the 4th of June regarding Rule 167A of the Rules of Parliament, and you as Chairperson has reacted that on that day that you will get the advice regarding that matter. I just want to hear, Chairperson, that we must discuss this matter today because it's a very important matter, and I don't think we can wait any longer for this matter to be discussed. So I want to put it on the agenda for today so that this discussion can be continuing where we left off on the 4th of June, and that we can finish that discussion around this matter, please, Chairperson.
Okay. Honorable Van Staden, it would come in as a matter arising from the last minutes. Honorable Kwahube raised the matter again, and my concluding remarks in that meeting was that I will be meeting at that time, not on that day, with the Honorable House Chair on this matter, and therefore I have to give a response on that meeting. So it will be part of the third item after the oversight issue, but it would have come in also as after the minutes, as the minutes matters arising. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I appreciate it. So as long as we don't forget about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. May I then, having recognized those two other members who have logged in, ask Ms. Machalamba to then flight the first. I hope Ms. Machalamba, you go according to that list that you sent to the members so that we look into that. Ask for members who have already read the minutes to then approve and get a seconder. Ms. Machalamba? Oh, by the way, maybe just conclude, just flight the agenda before that, yes. Ms. Machalamba, are you trying to bring the agenda to the screen?
Yes, Chair. The agenda, flight agenda, sister.
Okay, while they're struggling, the agenda after the apologies and the attendance, the first item would be the minutes, and there's a long list of those minutes as indicated. The second item would be a request for provincial oversight visit to Gauteng and KZN, and therefore the matter that would come out on the minutes of the 27th will then become item number 6. I mean, where's oversight closing? Consideration of, oh, yes. So what would be item number 6 will then be a consideration of an item that would come in, I think, either the 27th of July minutes or the 28th, one of those two. Well, it is somewhere in one of those as raised by Honorable Kwahub. I think the 28th of July. Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Members. If Ms. Machalamba can lead us through item number 4 by flighting agenda items, minutes one after the other.
We'll start with the minutes of the 4th of May, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, we would like to see them on the screen. Honorable members, on the 4th of May, we had a briefing by the fiscal, or some of these minutes, honorable members, are those that we were doing in preparation for the plan, annual
For the budget vote.
for the budget vote. Yeah, so there was that briefing by the Fiscal and Financial Commission, and also on the same day by the Compensation Commissioner for Occupational Disease and the MRC. And we'll then want to go down and check the presentation. Just firstly to confirm that members do see their names there, those who were present, and accordingly, and probably the correct spelling. Okay, if not, so I'll be stopped by any member calling for an attention on a point. Okay, that was that presentation. I would take it that members have read through some of these minutes, and therefore they are ready with points to correct the minutes. Okay. Honorable members, can I therefore get an indication, one, if there's any member who would like to say something about the correctness of the minutes? If not, can we get a mover for the minutes to be adopted as a...
Chair.
Hello.
Chairperson, yes. The minutes are true reflection of what we have discussed, and I move for the approval of the minutes.
Honorable Keller, move for the approval of the minutes. Any seconder? Any seconder for the approval of the minutes?
I second, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Jacob second the minutes. We will therefore have the minutes adopted. Thank you. Honorable members, may I then request to move, I think, to the 5th of, is that the next one, Ms. Machalamba?
It's the 5th of May, Chair.
Yes.
They are also part of the budget vote report.
This, we're listening, honorable members, to the Council for Medical Schemes and also to SAPRA when they came to make presentations in regards to the budget votes. Confirm your member that all members that you were present and so noted, and therefore if there are any other issues that members would like to raise in these minutes, I will hear the member calling his or her name, then we'll take it from there. If none, can I request that the members to confirm that we are ready to adopt these minutes as having taken place on that day, the 5th of May. Any more for the minutes to be adopted?
Chairperson, I move for the approval of the minutes.
Honorable Keller, move for the adoption of the minutes, and therefore request for a second to the mover.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Munyai, I second for the adoption of minutes. Thank you.
Very much, Honorable Munai, seconding the minutes. We therefore would reflect these minutes as a true reflection of our discussion and therefore adopt them. May I then come to the next one, Ms. Machalamba?
Minutes of the 6th of May.
The minutes of May, this was now a briefing by the AG, and then just move AG, yes, and NHLS, Auditor General, NHLS members, you were all present, more than Honorable Jacobs, Munyai, and Keller, so all of us can indicate the adoption. Let's move down. If there are members who would like to comment, if none, can we then therefore adopt these minutes as a true reflection of our discussions on the 7th of May, 2021?
6.
Can I just make one correction, please? Honorable Dr. Jacobs, just scroll back a little bit up. There's Dr. Cathy,
Dr.
Dr. Kami Chetty.
Chetty. Oh,
Yeah, it's K, her name is K, but the
Yes.
surname is Chetty. Thank you. Yes, okay. Can you, or you'll do that later, Ms. Machalamba?
yes, Chair.
All right. After that
All right,
is on.
with the amendment, Chair, I then propose adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Honorable Dr. Jacobs moves for the adoption of these minutes of the 7th of May. Thank you very
6th
much.
of May, Chair.
6th.
Yes, Chair.
Or the 6th, no, yeah, the 6th of May. Thank you. Any seconder?
Chairperson, I'm seconding.
Honorable Gela seconds the moving of these minutes of the 6th of May. Thank you very much. Ms. Machalamba, you take us to the
7th
next,
of May, Chair.
the 7th of May.
Yes,
These are
Chair.
this was when the department then came to brief us, and also the briefing by the Office of the Health Standard Compliance, and members present is reflected there. And then the issues that were raised have been read through by the members and reflected. Can we then, if it is agreed, get the mover of these minutes? Any honorable member would like to move the adoption of these minutes of the 7th of May?
I move, Chair.
Dr. Jacobs moves for the adoption of the minutes of the 7th of May. May I get a seconder?
I'm seconding, Chair.
Honorable Gela seconds the minutes of May. Thank you very much. We then move, Ms. Machalamba.
Of the 11th of May.
The minutes that we are now to consider, those honorable members that I know you have read of the 11th of May. Ms. Machalamba, can you flag them? The 11th of May. The minutes of the 11th of May was the consideration and adoption of the committee's budget vote report. Honorable members do remember this meeting, and therefore honorable members reflected that they will have to consult their political parties, but however, they were present in this meeting. May I therefore get adoption of this report?
Chairperson, I move for the approval of these minutes.
The minutes of the 11th of May, the mover is Honorable Gela. Thank you very much. Any seconder?
I second the chair.
Honorable Dr. Harvard seconds the minutes. Thank you very much. Can we then move to the next set of minutes, Ms. Machalamba? Okay. The next set of meetings were when we were on the public hearings. That was on the 18th of May. Members do reflect that you were part of this meeting as indicated there. And then we were listening to various parties. It was the South African Nursing Council, Pharmacy Council, Health Professions Council, Board of Healthcare Funders. What the minutes, all of the members are showing here is their presentation of the entities. And if you do want a full report, it is shown there at the end that you then have to capture the full discussion is available on request. But here, what we are flighting is what the institutions and the entities presented. May I just see, Ms. Machalamba, the last part where you are writing what I've just talked about? Okay, okay. The meeting recordings is available on request, but here we are recording what those entities presented. And the honorable members would like therefore to move for the adoption of the minutes of the, I think, 17th of May. Where
Chairperson,
Honorable, who's that?
it's Honorable Chirwa.
Yes, Honorable Chirwa.
I wanted to ask Chairperson what the reasons are for the fact that the deliberations are not captured in the minutes regarding the NHI public hearings. Besides there being a disclaimer that meeting recordings are available on request, this is about the minutes. And the minutes should also reflect to some extent the discussions that we have, and they are not included in NHI public hearings. I want to know what the reason for that is, as they are in other discussions that we have.
Okay, Secretary can be able to help us to understand that. I did have a meeting with the Secretary and I received the explanation as part of the protocols or procedures in Parliament, but then let me give this opportunity to Ms. Majalamba to explain that.
Thank you, Chair. Because it's minutes, and in minutes we summarize what has, because it's legislation, and in minutes, when we write minutes, we summarize what was discussed in that meeting, that specific meeting. But in the case of a legislation, we won't be able to summarize, and also I won't be able to quote that so and so said this and so said this. So it's better that we have it in the recording. And the stakeholders who have presented have asked that we email them the recording so that they can listen to the exact questions that were asked without us having to summarize them, whereas it's legislation. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Chirwa, when I read through the minutes, I had to seek that clarity, and that is the clarity that she gave me, which you are now being provided here in this committee.
Chairperson, I'm asking because we are able to include deliberations despite the fact that the disclaimer for recording is made on all the minutes that we are approving today. I'm asking, what is the reason why deliberations for the committee, not necessarily questions asked by so and so or whatever, but the deliberations and the engagements had by the committee, like what the committee had to say about certain presentations, are not included as they are for other things? Because these are minutes, and minutes must document what the sitting was saying or what the sitting basically recorded. It's a recording of minutes, not necessarily of, if there's another reason why they cannot be recorded. For example, I remember when we were doing physical public hearings, we were saying that we are going to listen to the people, and it's something that I raised in very early during the NHI public hearings online. There might be a problem with us consistently engaging with the people when areas it is a sitting that's meant for us to listen. And the fact that the deliberations are not included makes me think, oh, and if I'm incorrect, I should also be corrected. Also, I'm asking this question. The fact that they are not recorded in this particular minutes of the portfolio committee meeting then begs the question, why? So that's what I want an answer from. Is it because we are not supposed to engage and just listen to the portfolio committee because for the purpose of public hearings where we listen to the stakeholders and not necessarily engage with the stakeholders? I don't know if I'm being clear on this particular point.
As I've indicated, Chair, because it's legislation, and sometimes in legislation there are challenges by stakeholders. They will challenge the process, they will challenge whatever the committee has done because it's legislation. Therefore, it's better to have the exact content of what was discussed by the members in the recording and not try and summarize it in the minutes, which is exactly what is happening now. Because when they want what has happened in those specific hearings, the stakeholders request the recordings, not the minutes. That's what is happening even now. They do not ask for minutes, they ask for the actual recording because they want to know exactly who said this, how it was said, without us having to summarize it because it's legislation. Thank you, Chair.
So that suffices, Honorable Chair, that the parliamentary staff do not summarize legislative comments. They rather compile it. They don't summarize it. They thought I said this. They compile that and it is available on record, even if when we are needing the deliberations to move on, but they do not summarize on our behalf what was said by all members there, including ourselves. But it's available as is. That is how they are actually working on legislative processes.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson.
Right. Are you ready to adopt these minutes, Honorable Chair? Okay, any mover for this minute?
Chairperson, I move for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
The minutes of the, I think Ms. Machalamba is the 17th,
It's the 18th, Chair.
or the minutes of the 18th of May 2021 have since been then moved by Honorable Gela. Any seconder? Any seconder seconding Honorable Gela?
Second the chair.
Honorable Dr. Harvard seconds the minutes. Thank you very much. Let us then take the next set of minutes, Ms. Machalamba.
The 19th of May, Chair.
The 19th of May will be flighted. Is the minutes, again, I think it was a public hearing of members. Check your names, they're being present. And then we'll just see public hearings on NHI. Where are these institutions? Yes. This time we're listening to the Public Health Medicine Specialists and Registrars, Public Health Association of South Africa, Committee of Dental Deans, and South African Human Rights Commission, as the minutes are capturing what they presented to us, and the balance of the discussion is captured in a full report, which is available on request. We therefore would like to call for members to adopt these minutes. If any member would like to call for the adoption of these minutes. A mover for the adoption of the minutes of the 18th of May.
19th, Chair.
19th of May.
Chairperson, I move for the adoption of the minutes of the 19th.
Honorable Gela, getting his talk also by overall mover, you move for the adoption of these minutes of the 19th of May. May I get a second that Honorable Gela's mover?
I second the chair.
Honorable Dr. Harvard seconds the minutes. Thank you very much. Can we get to the next set of minutes?
Of the 20th of May, Chair.
The minutes of the 20th of May.
Yes, Chair.
Was also a continuous of public hearings. And on this day, your members, you were present, and they are all, by the way, free to call for the adoption of the minutes. Let's see who was presenting. We were listening to the NHLS and South African Medical Research Council presentations, and they made their presentations, and we would like to get the mover that, yes, we did listen to this, and then the package of minutes as show us that last part, Ms. Machalamba, where the meeting recordings is available on request. But here we're looking for the adoption of these minutes of the presenters to us. Any mover, honorable members?
I move for adoption, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Jacobs moves for the adoption of the minutes, and the seconder.
I'm seconding, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Kela moves for the secondment of these minutes. Ms. Machalamba, of what, of the 20th? Ms. Machalamba, we are moving and seconding the minutes of the 20th.
Sorry, 26th of May, Chair. We are moving to the 26th of May. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, we've just adopted the 20th. 26th of May. Right. These were public hearings, and we were listening to the National Healthcare Professionals Association. The second one was South African Institute of Environmental Health. The third was South African Association of Hospital and Institutional Pharmacists. And the fourth and the last of that day was the Pharmaceutical Society of South African, Pharmaceutical Society of South Africa, yes. And we were then 26th of May, 2021, like to get a mover for the adoption of these minutes. Honorable members.
Chair, I move for adoption.
Honorable
But-
Dr. Jacobs, yes.
Also, when we're done, we just need to go back to the previous one, Chair. I think we made an error somewhere, and I'll tell you about it just now.
The one of the 20th.
Yes, Honorable Gela was not present in that meeting, so she cannot second, Chair.
Okay. Now it's Dr. Harvard who seconded the last one.
Oh, okay, my apologies. Thank you, Chair.
No, it was Ms. Keller, Chair.
Dr. Harvard moved. Okay. Then
Dr.
we will go
Jacobs
back,
moved and Ms. Keller seconded.
we'll move back to those ones. Let us finish the one on the 26th that have been moved by Honorable Dr. Jacobs. Any seconder?
I second the chair.
Dr. Harvard seconds the minutes of the 26th of May. Thank you very much. Can we then go back, Ms. Machalamba, to the 20th, which was moved by Honorable Kela, supported by Dr. Harvard, that with
It was moved by Dr. Jacobs and seconded by Ms. Keller, Chair. So we need a member who was present at the meeting to second the minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable members, these minutes were rightly moved by Honorable Dr. Jacobs, but will have to be seconded by any member, starting from me up to Honorable Imam Sheikh. Any seconder?
I second the chair.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harvard, for seconding the minutes. Then we also then move to the next set of minutes after 26.
We move to the 1st of June, 2021.
1st of June, 2021, the minutes were on public hearings and we're listening to Kailisha and Klipfontein Health Forum. We listened to the Children's Institute, University of Cape Town. We listened to South African Psychoanalytic Confederation, and the last was South African Medical Association. And the members who were present, can I get one to move for the adoption of these minutes? And the seconder, please.
Chairperson, on this one, I was present and I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Honorable Kela moves for the adoption of the minutes of the 1st of May, 1st of June, 2021.
Yeah, can we just go back to the attendance register, please?
Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Oh, yeah, you would like to second the Honorable Van Staden? You have no problem. I'll welcome that. Any seconder to the minutes of the 1st of June, 2021?
I think Chairperson Honorable Philip is seconding.
Don't put words in my mouth, Honorable Member Gela. Now, let's just scroll through it again quickly, please, Chair.
The 1st of May, 1st of June, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any member?
It seems in order with me, Chair. I will second this one.
Honorable Van Staden seconds the minutes of the 1st of June, 2021. Thank you very much.
We move to the 2nd of June, 2021. Chair.
Working hard. The next day again, we woke up and did another meeting, 2nd of June, 2021. Public hearings where we're listening to, it was a good way to show in that way where you had 2 slides, okay. We're listening to the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science, University of Stellenbosch. We also listened to Faculty of Health Sciences, University of Cape Town. The third was Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, University of Fort Hare. And the honorable members, you were all present. I would therefore like to call for the adoption of the minutes of the 2nd of June, 2021. Any mover?
I will move, Chairperson.
Honorable Van Staden moves for the adoption of these minutes. Thank you very much. Any seconder?
I'm seconding, Chair.
Honorable Kela seconds the minutes. Thank you very much.
Move
Let us,
4th of June, Chair.
on the 4th of June,
Yes, Chair.
we were listening to, we'll wait for you to flight it. On the 4th, let me see what was happening.
Oh.
Briefing by the Minister of Health on the investigation to the awarding of the digital vibes contract processes followed and actions taken thus far. Let's note the members that were present. Then maybe let us go slowly. How many? Let's go slowly on these minutes. Then move to the next page. That was a day when the chairperson opened the meeting and welcomed, but he informed the committee that the minister could not be part of the meeting as he had received legal advice not to attend the meeting because the investigation into digital vibes contract involves him personally. So we got a presentation from the DG. And the DG, Dr. Butelis indicated in the middle of the paragraph of prior to, indicated that to the committee that irregular expenditure had been identified. However, the department will await the final report of the SIU to be able to fully implement the recommendation. So it was the day, honorable members, where we then got the meeting not to, the committee deliberated on the minister's absence and the inability of the DG to present the report of response or respond to questions. Members could not reach a consensus on whether the matter was sub judice or not, as criminal cases were opened against the minister and the DG. However, it was not yet before a court of law. So this matter, honorable members, got cleared up later on that we were not agreeable on this issue of a sub judice, and it was then corrected in the next minutes. And but this is what transpired on that day of the 4th of June 2021. If we could get comments or leaders wanting to adopt these minutes, it is
Chairperson?
Yes.
I don't see I didn't see when I went through the minutes, I didn't see the parts where, because there were calls from us calling for Minister Zolimkile to step down as the Minister of Health. That's not captured in the minutes. And number two, we also called for all the officials in the NGOH involved in the digital vibes situation to also be removed or resign from office. It's also not captured. And we also asked for the DG to also excuse himself from office because he was unable to do his job, and that's affecting our ability to do our job. But that's also not captured in the minutes.
Honorable Chirwa, that got raised in the meeting and it did not get overwhelming support for it to be reflected there. Or maybe let me check why then you wanted to include that when it was raised, but not as a matter that was adopted by the committee.
But Chairperson, that then changes the entire process of adopting minutes completely, because the minutes are just capturing what happened in the meeting. And I've said this even before, because now you are able to capture the fact that we couldn't reach a consensus on the issue of the sub judice issue, despite the fact that there was overwhelming members on that particular day who were saying that this issue is not an issue of sub judice, and that the minister and the NTOH officials should be able to respond to the questions posed by the portfolio committee members. There was ANC members of the portfolio committee who were having this issue of sub judice, not necessarily the entire portfolio committee, but it is reflected in the minutes. And then if the points that we are saying or putting out as the EFF are not going to be captured in the minutes, please let us know now that whatever we deliberate on, that we contribute to the meetings, will not be reflected in the minutes because other members don't agree. I don't think that is the modus operandi of how minutes operate in Parliament.
Chairperson, if I might.
The next speaker is Honorable Ruth van Staden.
Chairperson, thank you. Now, I think at point number 3, deliberations by the committee. I think we must just put in there that members of the EFF, the Freedom Front Plus, and the Democratic Alliance was not in, how can you say it, was not in consensus with other members of the majority party that the matter is not sub judice. We said as members of opposition parties that the matter is not sub judice, and therefore that we must continue with discussion. Remember, it was a big debate about if it's sub judice or not, and we as opposition parties said that the matter was not sub judice. So I think under number 3, we must just put it in there for this minutes, so that it's recorded that members of opposition parties from the DA, the Freedom Front, and the EFF said that the matter was not sub judice, and that members of the majority party said that the matter was sub judice.
Noted.
Ms. Machalamba, that correction can be put to actually precisely put it the way he has captured it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah. Would you like to comment on the other part of Honorable Chirwa?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Yeah, I wanted to Ms. Machalamba. Okay, come in, Honorable Munyai.
I think, the reflection of the EFF must also be recorded as per reflection of by Honorable Chiro for the completeness of the minutes so that we proceed. Because what makes it very difficult, Honorable Chair, is that we take time to consider minutes. That is the problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chair, if I may just quickly, we must remember for future reference on this matter seems to be is going to be with us for a long time. So if this minutes is not captured correctly, like I just said now, then we're going to have a problem in future. So I would suggest, like Member Mnyai is also saying, what I've just said, that we please put it in at under point number 3.
I agree, and I remember that vividly that Honorable Gwahube, Honorable Chirwa, and Honorable van Staden, they did not agree with that matter for such sub judice. Thanks.
Yeah, that part we have already agreed. It will be. That's why I wanted to get Mr. Machalamba to come in. That part we agreed it will be reflected on. I take the point now of Honorable Munyai to say the view of the EFF now as a standalone must still be reflected there. I was just reading there without nullifying what Honorable Chira is saying, to say on paragraph 2, the last part, that is indicated to the committee that irregular expenditures had been identified. However, the department will await the final report on the SIU to be able to fully implement their recommendations. So we might still have to capture what Honorable Chira is saying there on the deliberations, notwithstanding that at that time, the department is not able to move this person that out or in until they are able to get a full report. However, in the spirit of this discussion, let's move and agree that these minutes will have to be amended with the 2 amendments put in, and maybe we not adopt them until we can see that it has been captured in that way. Or you want to say, let us ask the secretary to put those 2 and then adopt them now, or will adopt later?
Chair, if I may, thank you, Chair. I think we shouldn't do that adoption now. When Honorable Chirwa raised now in this meeting, I tried to remember. Now, we do remember that there were quite a number of different voices raised, but I think it wouldn't be correct to capture it now, not having made certain that we actually capture the correct wording. I do remember also having raised my part, for example, on section 3 of the Constitution, which, for example, is also not raised. So I would want to advise that we go back and maybe just put the correct wordings into that section, that number 3, chapter, what is that now, section 3, Chair, instead of adopting it today. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Honorable members, let us agree to not rush to adopt these minutes until we are satisfied that these issues that we are raising will be reflected there. And therefore, the recordings will assist the secretary to put those additions and amendments into this report.
Chairperson,
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I don't understand why this particular process is becoming longer than it should. Part of this process of us adopting minutes is to clarify on parts that have been omitted or that are missing or corrections. And I'm giving deliberations on that, but I'm not speaking on behalf of everyone. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and the political party I represent. There are parts that we deliberated on in this portfolio committee meeting that are not captured in the minutes. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. I'm speaking on my own, and everybody else, if they want to speak, they can speak for themselves. But I'm saying the points that we raised on that particular day are not reflected in the minutes, and they should reflect in the minutes because we also sit in this portfolio committee meeting, but our deliberations don't exist in this particular document. And historically, we're able to add points and then move on. And then suddenly today is becoming a problem. And I don't understand why.
Sure.
No, we are agreeing that, Honorable Chirwa, we have to give a benefit of doubt that it may not just be the issues that we are raising that might have been left here. This meeting was quite a heated meeting. So let us satisfy ourselves and not adopt them today, but get to make sure that those parts that are actually outstanding as the input has been made are being taken care of, and we'll adopt these minutes later.
Chairperson.
No,
I think let's the committee secretary redraft this minute as we have discussed now. We don't approve it today and send it back to us by the latest this evening or tomorrow morning, so that we can at the next meeting adopt this minute of the 4th of June.
Yeah, may I request that we don't push that she's finished with them today in case she's not able to. So let us satisfy ourselves that she's able to get the proper one. What maybe if we ask for these minutes to be sent to us by late tomorrow afternoon, will that be too late or early for you, Ms. Machalamba?
Fine, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, Honorable Mayor, may I request that we await these minutes by tomorrow afternoon.
Sure, no problem. I'm agreed. Thank you, Chair.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's move then to the next set of minutes, honorable members. Ms. Machalamba, can you flight after the 4th of June?
Minutes of the 15th of June.
Honorable members, this was a meeting where members present were reflected. It was an NHI hearing, public hearing, and we had the following institutions presenting: South African Speech Language Hearing Association, South African Association of Audiologists, Rural Rehabilitation of South Africa, Occupational Therapy of South Africa, South African Society of Physiotherapy, Dula Omar Institute, University of Western Cape, South African Orthotic and Prosthetic Association, South African Society of Anesthesiologists. Those are the presentations on that day. If then members could then indicate to move to adopt these minutes, may I get the indication?
Honorable Chair, Honorable Munyai, the minutes reflect the deliberation of the meeting, and this context I move for the adoption, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Munyai moves for the adoption of these minutes of the, what date is this? 15th of June. May I get a seconder, please?
Chair, I'm seconding Honorable Munyai.
Honorable Kela seconds the adoption of these minutes. Thank you very much. May we then go to the next set of minutes?
Minutes of the 22nd of June.
22nd.
22nd.
Honorable Van Staden.
Chairperson, there was a meeting in between. It was a meeting of the 17th of June. Where's that minutes?
17th of June.
It was a meeting which we have a discussion. I'm going to just the agenda on that day. Just hang on a second. I just want to get it before me. That was a very important meeting. Just a moment, please.
Do you have anything, 17th of May, 17th of June?
No, 17th of June, the department was before us with a report on the matter of the digital vibes. It was on a first day.
Testing.
The agenda was issued on the 16th of June. The points on the agenda was opening report, remarks, attendance, apologies, attendance confirmation by the Ministry Department of Health, consideration of a legal opinion of a digital vibes contract matter, briefing by the Ministry Department of Health on the following matters, an update on vaccines, on the state of preparedness, on the investigation into the awarding of digital vibes contract, processes followed and actions taken thus far. Currently seeking questions, closing remarks. This is the matter what I've raised this morning where we've discussed the matter around Rule 167A, which came up during this meeting. So the minutes of 17th, the agenda was issued on 16th June, but the meeting was on Thursday, the 17th of June.
Okay, I remember.
Is this the meeting that was that we had for the first time meeting with the Minister Kubai?
Yeah, I think it was our first meeting. Yes, it could be. Yeah, I remember during that meeting, I also raised the Kopanang situation as well. There was a lot of discussions, but the most important point on this agenda was number 5, consideration of a legal opinion on the digital vibes contract matter. When we was briefed by the Department of Health on the vaccines and the digital vibes contract processes, and which was followed on that stage.
Honorable Chair, was it not the 16th of June and not the 17th, Honorable Started?
The agenda, yeah, no, I see the agenda said the 17th, but the meeting took place on Thursday. The agenda said the 16th. It was issued that evening, and the meeting was on Thursday, the 17th.
Okay, it does look like the secretary does not have those set of minutes. I do remember that we did have a meeting.
They are ready. I'm sure they are ready, Chair. It's just they are ready, Chair. I just need to find them. I have all the minutes. They are all ready.
So they may not be part of what you are presenting to us today.
Yes, I didn't send to the members that set. Yeah.
Okay.
See, Chairperson, that's why I said at the beginning of this meeting, we must speak about the digital vibes, which I said you must give us feedback today. Because I didn't see the minutes for that day, and I'm glad we are now at this point so that we can rectify this matter. But in any case, I would then suggest that if a committee, Ms. Majamalamba, she haven't sent it to us, then I would suggest that on this, we do it as the same as the previous one, but she send it to us by tomorrow afternoon and that we reflect as soon as possible on it. But I would also suggest that we just keep on going with our discussion and your feedback after this set of minutes, please, Chairperson.
Yeah, no, thanks, Honorable Van Staden. We'll do it like that. They are even much more back to back. In fact, that first meeting, which we are saying we are putting back, it was the day we did not have Minister Mkhize, but the DG alone. And then in the middle, we then corrected ourselves. I corrected myself that I should not have not allowed Dr. Mkhize. So he was then supposed to come to the meeting, but then the meeting was asked by the Minister Kubai to be postponed for her to familiarize herself. And this meeting, where we are now saying the ministers also are not today here, would have been a second meeting in terms of the digital vibes after the first meeting where we had a DG alone. So then if they also come in together tomorrow, that would be fine. Thanks.
Chairperson, just a final deliberation from my side. You will see the title of a presentation which was presented to us on the 17th of June said, presentation to the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Health, update on communications contract. And they had 3 points, the background, the status quo, The summary on Ngobani's report, SIU process, and the conclusion. That was a report which was served before us.
No, you captured it correctly. Thank you very much. So we'll have those minutes again coming back to us tomorrow, and you can then find a date and time to adopt them. Thanks. Honorable Ms. Machalamba, the next set of minutes.
So we are not going to consider the minutes of the 17th. I found them.
We don't,
Okay.
Oh yeah, we are not going to consider.
The 22nd of June. Then.
No, Chair, the 17th was sent to us with the 4th of June, and then we consider it on later stage as we've discussed with the previous one.
Yeah, so tomorrow afternoon, we will expect two sets of minutes, at least up to now, as we are discussing, Honorable Ms. Machalamba. Thanks. The next set of minutes was on the 22nd, which we're looking at them, and they were indicated who were the stakeholders. Can you show us again? Okay, these are the following stakeholders who made a presentation on the 22nd of June. It was 1, a collaboration for health systems analysis and innovation. Number 2, Alliance of South African Independent Practitioners Association. 3rd was Self-Care Association of South Africa. The 4th was South African Private Practitioners Forum. Number 5 was South African Institute of Race Relations. Number 6 was Health Promotion and Development Network. 7 was Counseling Psychology South Africa, and the last was South African Renal Society. Made presentation to this portfolio committee, and the full set of deliberations is available on request. But may I request that members do take note and agree to adopt that this meeting of the 22nd of June did take place, and these are the presenters that came to us on that day. Any honorable member would like to move for adoption?
Chair, I just want to indicate I'm in the meeting, but I'm driving, so I will be on and off, but I'm in the